My name is Abhishek Gupta. I'm the CEO and co-founder of Open Droids Robotics. I have two other co-founders along with our team. In our team, it's Ashish Gupta. He is the money guy, the CFO, and then we have Jack J, who is actually the chief marketing officer and the chief futurist. I mean, a lot of visions is coming from him as well. So essentially, we are an open source robotics company. We have built in the last year. We have actually started business just in 2024, but I think we have been very fortunate that we built already 3 different versions of our robot: the R1D1, the R1D2, and now the R2-D3, which is quite a huge draw. Many articles have been written about us, and I'm very grateful and fortunate that I was associated with Motwani Jadeja Foundation. Otherwise, we as a startup or an early stage company would not have had the opportunity to come to a platform like this that gives exposure to a company like ours on a world stage. For an Indian startup to be part of a global platform like CES, this is, I would say, what would be the best entry point, and I'll say that it is something like an India Pavilion that we have with Motwani Jadeja Foundation, because at heart we are an Indian company. Of course, we do our sales in the US, and we are capturing that market through distribution, through leveraging our products and getting our logistics in China. So it is extremely essential to be part of such an ecosystem where, as a company that is actually demonstrating itself to be an Indian origin company, because that is in itself a very big draw, because people understand that Indian people are very resourceful, innovative, and at the same time extremely brilliant, hardworking and brilliant at the same time, right? So getting the exposure through a foundation like Motwani Jadeja gave us that opportunity to become a company that can be leveraging itself on the global platform. And why I say this is because at this point I've counted 6 articles have been written about us. We were part of the CES Unveiled as well. All this, again, it would not have been possible without the support of Motwani Jadeja Foundation. Before coming to the show, I have attended some industry shows in the past. I would have never ever imagined that it would give us the exposure, the opportunity to be interacting with potential investors, potential clients and customers, and at the same time, expert roboticists from all over the world, at such an amazing, incredible event where I got to know some statistics. More than 170,000 people are showing up for this event, and that are spread all across the world. So what does that literally mean? It is an event. It is a conglomeration of amazingly talented, young and diverse individuals that are coming together to create a world of the future that will literally blow our minds with the AI and AGI era. Now with our robotics, I can see that the world is going to transform one place at a time, and I think it starts off at CES. What does it really mean to be part of an India Pavilion at CES? I think it is unparalleled exposure. I will say that we are an international company, I would like to put it at that, but with an Indian heart and soul. I built most of my team in India. All my brilliant engineers are coming from IITs, the best colleges and universities in India, and we are constantly leveraging more and more Indian resources and talent. Now with an exposure at Motwani Jadeja Foundation, where people already are very familiar with this foundation, we get an extra added layer of support and credibility because of being part of this ecosystem. And I have to be extremely grateful and thankful to Ashwa Jadeja for doing such an incredible, noble cause. She's a true philanthropist, and I'm truly, from my heart, I'm grateful to her that we are getting this opportunity, because I can say that because of this exposure and opportunity, I can confidently tell you that before we end up the show, we will have potential investors, we will have potential clients, and we will have potential collaborators in terms of expert roboticists. I'm the CEO and co-founder of Open Droids Robotics. So we are demoing our products, our 2 robots, the R2-D3 and the R1D1. As you can see, these are like the state-of-the-art robots that we have introduced to the market, or we actually unveil at the CES. These robots are basically capable of doing human-capable tasks, which is doing your dishes, your laundry. It can be used in restaurants, food and beverage, healthcare even. So essentially, we have 2 versions of these robots that we created. The first one is the single-arm robot. which has the capacity and capability to be used in homes. It can, as you see, it has a 2-finger gripper, so it can go and grab things, it can move around things, it can actually be a server for you, for giving you drinks, giving you like goodies, if you want to put your charger into a charging socket, all those things. We have, as you see again here, we have a display, we have a deep depth camera. So basically it has the capability to perceive its environment and then determine what it needs to grab. Essentially we are an open source company, and that's how we tend to operate, and that's what we want to do as a vision and a philosophy. We want to give the power back to the community to start programming their own robots and do the usefulness and tasks that they actually envision for their futures, and give them the capability to even build on top of our infrastructure and hardware. So the 2-arm robot is now what I'll talk about. This is our latest addition to the family. As you can see, a very, very sleek piece of machinery. It has the capacity and capability to go up and down this vertical slide. 2 arms give it significantly more firepower and capabilities, because it can now go very closely and deeply with these 2 depth cameras on each arm to identify objects, to pick them, grab them, to be used as a robotic server in a restaurant, to be used in homes, doing things like dishes, laundry even, because these have replaceable grippers that can actually be used for, like if you want to use a reusable gripper as well. So, and then they have the capability to be programmed open source, just as the first version of our robots. I have my co-founder Jack J here as well, so he'll also talk a little bit about what we are doing and our cause and philosophy of the company.
Yeah, we see robotics as the harbinger of the golden age, true abundance from doing the tasks that we don't want to do, and from giving the services to everyone, decreasing healthcare costs, decreasing costs in all areas. And besides this initial lineup here, we really realized that the research of domestic bots is very early stage. There's not been a lot of push towards how do we make stuff for households, because the robotics industry has all been industrial. And then we have this emergent humanoid, but let's not reinvent the wheel is definitely something very prescient here, where wheels are a more reliable thing on engineered flat surfaces where most human labor takes place. So we also went ahead and said, hey, since this R&D really hasn't happened at scale to figure out how to make these way, way cheaper, to make sure more and more households can onboard to having a house robot as the actual underlying AI architectures get better. The AI agents is a big sector right now, and this is the movement into embodied AI agents. So we went ahead and launched a X Prize for robotics, where we put cash on the table, a big cash prize, as well as a good amount of equity in our company for the roboticist out there who's in their garage or in their robotics lab who thinks they can be the next Dell. And we had over 6,000 people apply. We accepted over 1,000 of them through an offer letter to join the program, and I've started funding a bunch of their designs. They've submitted a bill of materials, CAD designs, and that makes me confident by the end of this year, we'll have a dual arm robot like this that will be $9,000 at retail cost, which we think enables tens of millions to hundreds of millions of the households which are above $100,000 median income to have the same service luxury that really people in India afford. Going out there, me and Abhi were out there, and we have a good set of engineers already on our core team out there. There's 6 times as many people in STEM, so there's so much dark talent, people to be found, gyms who just haven't found the right vehicle for their genius to pull through. And even lower middle class Indian families have better service luxury than upper middle class America, which from a wealth disparity standpoint doesn't make sense, and really where that's going to come into play, where we can have the same affordances of that luxury, will be through robotics. So it's a very, very exciting time. It's a massive, massive market, from the hospitality, healthcare to houses, and I think we're going to play a major role in it just because of our approach of utilizing all of the dark talent that exists out in India and bringing all those minds together and focusing on a collaborative open source software side where people can build businesses on top of the low-cost hardware that we're bringing to market.